The law of vibration states that everything vibrates at its own frequency. Everything visible and invisible has a frequency, or an energetic pattern. Essentially, there is one pure source of energy that can vibrate in an infinite range of frequencies. Each of the individual frequencies oscillate at their own unique set point, while also matching other things that vibrate at a similar frequency. And this is the true driving force and power source behind manifesting the things that you want. In this video, I'll explain how the creation of physical, tangible results occurs, and how you can use this power to change your vibration and begin manifesting new experiences of your choosing into your life. Each frequency has the ability to create something unique. Everything that you see is merely a different frequency of the original source energy that makes up all that is. What appears to be solid matter is nothing more than vibrating energy. Your physical being is just one of your many manifested creations. It's not actually who you are, but the equipment you have for transforming information. It's a tool used for translation, and it has the ability to translate vibration into physical experience. Because of our physical bodies and senses, we are able to convert frequencies into the different perceptions of sight, scent, touch, sound, and taste. But beyond each translation that we make through our physical bodies, there is a vibrational frequency at the root of each thing that we sense in this way. This is what makes the physical body so magnificent. It's an instrument with a very distinct purpose of interpreting vibration into experiences for us. Our physical bodies also have their own frequency, and each individual's frequency limits their range of experience because that frequency only resides within the realm of other frequencies that match it. In other words, the physical senses have a limited operating range. The illusion of time is also part of the translation that the physical senses perceive. There's no way to measure time without using the physical senses. It's strictly a man-made concept. But the true self is unlimited. In order to use the body to experience beyond what the 5 physical senses detect, and to manifest beyond the current frequency set point, we use our minds and our imaginations to create deliberate translations that go past the physical senses and into the realm of the non-physical. Through our imaginations, things become real instantaneously, but only in a way that is non-physical, rather than through the physical senses. The mind and feeling states have the ability to form new creations by reaching past the limitations of the physical frequency that is currently held, therefore beginning to stretch the vibration into other places and other manifestations. This is the place to begin to move the self into new physical translations or new realities. When the new vibration or frequency is maintained dominantly, it will match frequencies of a like nature, and the physical senses can then translate those new frequencies as the new reality. This is why thought and imagination are so important. They are the catalyst for new experiences and new realities. You can sense certain things in your thoughts and your imagination, although you don't yet see them in your physical perceived reality with your physical senses. This is because the frequency of your physical body, including your physical senses, has not yet caught up with what you're creating in your mind. The physical senses remain at their current frequency set point, the last frequency that you adjusted them to. So they can only continue feeding you sensory information that falls within that frequency range, unless you make the effort to readjust the frequency by creating new experiences within your mind first, where all creation begins. Physically translated manifestations are simply a specific frequency that's been layered upon itself so many times that it appears dense. In other words, when the frequency becomes strong enough, from the adequate mental energy of visualization, desire, thought, belief, and emotions, the physical senses can recognize it and then translate it as a physical, tangible thing. These mental faculties create the order that is placed with the universe. In truth, whenever we perceive a manifestation with our physical senses, we're actually perceiving the projection of its non-physical form, which is created by the mental energies through intense focus, belief, and feeling states. So a very large percentage of the manifestation process is already completed by the time that you begin to translate it with your physical senses. The vibration of the thing that you've mentally created is already real before you even detect it. Time is irrelevant in a universe of pure energy lacking physicality. You're merely spending what is considered time adjusting your frequency to match this new reality and building upon it with focus so that your physical senses are able to detect it and translate it as your experience. So you have your mind and your feeling states that do the real creating for you, and then you're able to perceive these things with the faculties of your physical senses once the frequency is substantial enough for them to do so, and once your frequency begins to match the frequency of the manifestation desired. So how do you train your physical senses to detect a broader range of frequencies that match the things that you want to manifest? Remember that the essence of who you are is pure consciousness. Your body is simply the transmitter, much like a radio. If you want to perceive new realities with your physical senses, you'll have to change the channel deliberately. Most likely, you'll have to reset this channel every time you intentionally tune into it until it takes the cue and has switched to it automatically as the default setting. The first step to begin translating different frequencies is tuning out from your physical senses in order to tune into your non-physical senses, or your mind and your emotional states. And the best way to do this is by going into an environment where you're able to eliminate as much sensory input as possible. Attempt to find a space where the temperature is comfortable, the smell of the air is neutral, and it's quiet and free from distraction. Close your eyes and physically relax your body. Breathe deeply for several minutes so that your sense of touch loosens its sensation or even becomes numb. This is very achievable if you remain still so that your nerve endings adjust to the lack of input. And the more you practice this state, the easier it is to move into it very quickly at will. Realize that once you disconnect from your physical senses completely, time is no longer something that you perceive. This is when you'll know that you and your physical senses are totally relaxed. Once you've turned your attention away from your physical senses, you can begin to tune into your creative faculties in a very powerful way. Start with your desire. This is the non-physical equivalent of physical movement and action. When we create something non-physically by desiring it, it manifests immediately in non-physical form. For example, if you wanted to imagine being on a vacation, you only need to have the desire to do so, and the image or sensation of it will be created. You can sense its energy with your mind and your imagination, and in that moment, you are tuning into the frequency of that vacation as it is in non-physical form. Even if you're not able to see it with your mind, you can still perceive it. All it takes is having the desire to create it, and it is so. As you connect with your desire, feel the emotion of it. What you really ultimately desire is the non-physical frequency range of the manifestation, or how it feels to have it and be with it. Once again, by thinking of your desire in a state of total relaxation and detachment, you should be able to sense immediately how it feels to have this manifestation in your presence. Absorb yourself in those feeling states and sit with them for as long as you wish, or until they're no longer heightened. Practice doing this type of visualization daily. You're simply detaching from your physical senses so that you can create in the non-physical realm where your desires manifest instantly. Although your physical senses are rarely able to perceive these things immediately, when you understand that you are readjusting your frequency and building the frequency of the desire, it makes the process seem much more logical and easier to understand. Your physical senses are only able to pick up slight energetic shifts in the direction of your desire as they adjust themselves to perceive the frequency that you've created. So have patience with this process. Your desires have immediately been created in the non-physical, but in order for you to see them in physical form, you must turn yourself towards their direction over and over again. The last tip, and a very important one, is to focus on creating non-physical manifestations solely. This is the key to manifesting faster and with more precision. What everyone really wants, the thing behind their desires, is the non-physical frequency range. It's the emotions and the feelings that we're all reaching for. For example, money, a big house, and the perfect relationship are simply projections of the non-physical manifestation. The underlying meaning behind each of these things is how they make us feel. We don't actually desire the physical manifestation. We desire the feeling state that comes with it. Create the feeling state enough times, and you will automatically tune your physical body to the experience of that. Trying to manifest the physical form of what we desire creates a weak intention. Focusing on the physical manifestation rather than the feeling that we truly want from it is like trying to satisfy our appetite with a picture of something that we'd like to eat, rather than the actual meal itself. Put all of your creative energy into creating and manifesting your non-physical desires, because that's what you truly want. The deeper meaning of this process is carried by the law of vibration and the energetic aspects of the frequencies. Always set your intention for the non-physical feeling and allow the projection of that to come to you as it will. Eventually, your frequency and the frequency of your desire will match, your physical senses will catch up to that, and then you'll see your desire projected into manifested form.